Generation Iron, and welcome to Colombia.
Bienvenidos a Colombia.
Ready?
Sure. GI.
Ready to climb this thing?
Ready to go up the mountain to the GI mountains, right? Go up the GI mountain.
It's a long walk.
We're not gonna go all the way.
Bro, getting there. Exhausted.
Just a few more steps. Wow, never again.
What did you think of your climb up again? How many times have you been up?
First time.
First time? Yeah.
Oh shit. My first time was amazing. I can't feel my legs.
How many steps left to go? Who knows?
I think that's there are like 700 steps.
Wow.
All right, guys, here we are, Generation Iron Podcast. For yours truly, me, Victor Martinez, and of course, Edwin Mejia and Vlad Yudin.
What's happening, man?
Today we're going to discuss the Mr. Olympia, which is 1 week from tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
One more week, and this is going to be a stacked class. We're going to try and cover most of the guys. There's a lot of guys, I think 30 deep. That officially qualify, and then there's a few others that are, qualifying by points. Vlad, what do you have?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. I think your opinion is the most important one here. You know what I mean? But I don't know. If I was to bet on it, right, who's gonna win the open class? I think I would probably bet on Rami. You know what I mean? Just from the, from the odds perspective. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree?
No, I have to agree, not just because, he's currently Mr. Olympia. He's probably the biggest Mr. Olympia, and he is hungry, he is pushing, and I think he's refining the muscle that he's already built over the few years, and Rami's coming in full blast, Yeah. If it's the winter coming, I think this is going to be the ice age.
I hear. Will you agree with that one?
Yeah, I would agree with it. I mean, he's won already two, right?
2 Olympias ago, yeah?
2 Olympias.
Yeah.
I think that a three-peat is something that is pretty common within the Olympia for the most part when you have such a dominant force. I think Rami has been a dominant force. I think he's perfected really not only his physique, but the mass that he's been able to bring every year has been amazing. I think it's 3P in my opinion.
I think the question is who's going to be in the top 5, right? So if Rami is number 1, who are the other 4, right? So I'm going to throw some names out, Vic. You tell me which ones you think would stack up in second, third, and fourth and fifth. So I'm gonna give you some names and you tell me. So we have Nick Walker, Brennan Curry, Heidi Chupin, Hunter Labrada. We have Samson Dauda. I don't want to butcher anybody's names, but William Bonek, Blessing, Andrew Jacked, Akeem Williams, Derek Lunsford jumped from 212 to open, which is a big deal, I think. Any of those names stand out to you as the top five? And which ones would you pick and in what positions?
Okay. You know, you threw in all the good names, great names. We did agree that Rami is gonna be a repeat, but some of these guys are definitely gonna rattle his cage. You know, who is going to be up there with the beast? I think the names you threw out are great names. You have to remember though, the class is so stacked that I have to look at the list because it's just so many. Usually we have about 15, 20 to discuss. This is 30 deep, you know. So that being said, I mean, with the names you said, I mean, Derek Lunsford is the transitional one right now from 212 going into the open. I think it's a big step heading that way. I mean, people are looking at him because he is currently 212 Mr. Olympia. You know, he has one of the most gains other than Nick Walker, you know, to come into this Olympia within that 1 year. Had the most gains. So pretty impressive, you know, I think. But you do have the other big guys, you know. You have Akeem Williams, you know, coming in from that Tampa win. And without leaving a few other guys out, I have to go with you have Antoine from Canada. I mean, these are the mass monsters again. You know, these guys are, you know, forced to be reckoned with. I mean, you have these guys, you know, Andrew Jack, who just qualified as well. Big, aesthetic.
Very popular now, too. Very popular.
Very popular. Very popular.
Very popular, exactly. So, you know, I mean, but you can't also forget Hassan Mustafa.
Yes.
You know, I think he's definitely been a dark horse. He's gonna creep up there again. The only issue he's been having is been his condition, you know, which has been a story of my life when I was competing, you know. But
so, how many competitors have qualified? I mean, this is probably a record.
We have over 30 actually.
I mean, we've been covering the Olympia, and I mean, obviously the results with our riders and our team, and I think this has been pretty much the most stacked Olympia qualification list, I think, ever, right? Do you know that list?
I mean, but also, you got to remember, there's another Mr. Olympia competing, Brandon Curry, and I saw pictures that his coach posted up, Abdullah, and listen, he's not letting up anytime soon. I mean, you seen his work ethic, you see how he gets, you know, he's dedicated, he goes away from his family, just to get on that chase, to stay hungry, and he's doing it. So I wouldn't count out Brandon Curry at all.
Yeah, he never gets a lot of. I mean, I don't think he gets enough credit.
Yeah,
he's a really incredible bodybuilder. He's someone that continues to improve year after year. I mean, his physique is always on point as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he won, to be honest. So would it be safe to say that Sean Clarita not competing in men's open is kind of a blessing for like some of these other guys?
Sean is going to state his claim. That's it. Sean is definitely going to state his claim in the 212.
William Bonek, should he be in the conversation for the top five specifically this year? He's been in the top five before.
William Bonek out because he's one of those guys that brings in that clean muscle. Unfortunately, that 1 year at the Arnold, you know, he came down in size, and I know he was back and forth with coaches and all that. I believe this year he's with Chad. So listen, when you're with Chad, you know, can't count him out. You know, Rami won under Chad. So and I got that second with Chad. So you never know, you know.
Sure. All right, so top five then. So Rami number one. Who's your number 2, Vic? Well, you got to pick. We got to do it.
You got Rami. You have
Rami 1.
Brandon Curry.
Curry 2.
Yeah, Brandon Curry. I mean, again, Nick Walker was top 5 last year. I mean, for me to leave him out will be a disservice, So Nick
3.
Walker, he's been hungry, Let's just let me see more smiling up there, Nick. Just be happy and humble up there. I think it goes a long way, especially with judges and fans. Just a little advice from my part. That's it. But
From the experience.
Yeah, you got who else?
So
Andrew
Rami,
Jack.
Brandon,
I think you could sneak
Andrew
up
Jack.
there, Andrew.
Number 4.
I like to see Hakeem up there. And
Number 5.
What was that? That was 4 or 5. I gave
That's
you
5 already. So you have Rami, Brandon Curry, Nick Walker, Andrew Jack, and Hakeem Williams.
Wow, I can't believe you guys are counting out Hadi 2.0.
Well, that's Vic's pick.
Again, I like Hadi, but when you throw out mass that Hadi has and also aesthetic that he, is there, but I'm a fan of Hadi's. I think he changed the game. He was the people's champion.
He was.
So if I would have to put in dark horses, I would put him up there as a dark horse to sneak in.
The 6th man.
State his claim again, back up to the top 5.
I think it's a pretty good top 6.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, I think.
Yeah. All right, Vic. Well, I think it's good. Let's quickly move to the.
Just a toss-up over here, just to throw it in, about the point qualifiers. These guys did not win the show, but they did qualify on points. What do you think? I mean, you have Justin Rodriguez and Andrea Musi from Italy. These guys vindicate themselves, going in by points and just, sneaking up there and just saying, hey, I'm going to knock down on your door. Look at me. I came in better shape. Can they sneak into the top 10 without going in, as, winning a show qualification? So can they do it, guys? Come on.
They can do it, I think, but it's tough, especially this year. I think this year is the toughest year to do it because there's just so many great competitors. You know what I mean? So it's possible, but it's very difficult, in my opinion.
Oh, you're right. They got the work cut off for them, But if they want to make a statement and not be, lost in the shuffle, what better place than the Olympia,
Exactly. All right, guys, let's go to the 212. Now, obviously, Sean Clarita made a decision to stay in the 212 because he was contemplating either moving up to the men's open or actually doing both. But I guess the Olympia didn't let him do both. So
I mean, from my opinion, and I'm not an expert here, but I think that Sean Clarita brings a lot of excitement to the Olympia.
Oh yeah.
He brings a lot of excitement to the sport in general because when you see a guy who they call a giant killer, right? On paper, going up against these men open guys, I mean, it creates a lot of excitement. When he beat Regan and Sergio Oliva that time, I mean, that was a pretty interesting, entertaining show. And it wasn't, I wouldn't think it was like a major show.
It was a good show.
It was a really great show. So I think that
definitely
with him, I mean, he has a lot of fans. I mean, I'm a big fan of Sean. We've been following his career for many years. I know he's now with a great team over there at Newton. They've been supporting him on his road to the Olympia, and we've been covering that. So it's been great. I mean, I think he has a tremendous opportunity to win again. He's a clear favorite, in my opinion, although Kamal is a great competitor, too.
Kamal won before, yeah, so he's a former champion as well. But now Derek Lunsford not being in the 212, obviously, it clears up the path a little bit, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it left the door open back again for Sean, but again, Kamal's coming in with that condition. Only thing with him, again, is aesthetic-wise. Sean is just a smaller frame, but the best package in that smaller frame. And Kamal won't count him out. And there's a few other guys that qualify from the Far East, And man, what country was he from? I think he was.
We have Mohammed El Azim from Egypt. Ahmad Ashkanani is back from Kuwait. He did it really great before. We know this. We know him well.
Yeah, Ashkanani is coming back. That'll be great to see him up there. Got to put Kuwait back on the map. So that'll be great.
Yeah, a lot of competitors from Brazil and the Middle East as well. A lot of Iranians from the competing this year. So this is even more stacked actually than the
Young
Open.
Ping, yeah, he's one of the thick guys. Again, with him, it's just conditioning. If he brings it in, he just qualify this year.
Vic, what do you think about Keon Pearson? I'm sure you've seen him before, right? He came on the scene a couple of years ago, and I think he was doing classic at first, and he made a huge splash. Yeah, he made a huge splash in the industry. How do you feel about his chances this year?
Again, man, I got my money on Sean. If anybody could, shake him a little, probably be Kamal. But then again, this is the Olympia. This is the top show. These guys are definitely coming in more improved, and I hope they do to give them, a nice, good run, because there's nothing better than winning a show with great competitors,
Sure, absolutely. But so we all in agreement here that Sean Clarita will get a second title this year.
As far as the 212, great gains this year, polished up. I think his head is in the right place now. Before I know he was, took some time and, mental health, all that stuff. But I think he's bringing it in. So if anybody's gonna give Sean a run with the aesthetic and the mass, he could be also the one up there. Keon.
I think that's a good opinion. All right, let's talk about Classic. Now, Classic is becoming, up there. I think it's somewhat overshadowing even 212, in popularity. And of course, it's due to Chris Bumstead's popularity. And, people are saying he's unbeatable. He's unbeatable this year, and basically he's going to be unbeatable until he decides to retire. That's what people are saying, right? You've heard of this before, right, Vic?
Yeah, what they say and what's on the stage are two different things,
Sure.
You got to support, the current Mr. Olympia. He is the current, still there, still holding the title, still making great gains, great improvements, top of the game in social media. So he's going to have that support. He's going to have those, hardcore people really supporting him. But you got to remember, there's still guys right behind him. You have from Brazil, Ramon Rocha Quirios. I like his physique. He's been chasing Chris Bumstead right there, right on his tail. And I think he could be one of the guys that could change the game. Is he going to beat him? He has to bring something a little bit more spectacular, Hit his poses right, because Chris is just polished up every which way you see him, His color, his posing, his mass, his balance. So
his height too. Don't forget about his height, Vic. Right? He overshadows a lot of people on that stage just because of the sheer dominance. Chris, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think Breon, lost a little edge because of the height. Exactly. He's just a little bit taller and all that, so you can see a little bit more, and his clavicle, he's wider. So, without forgetting one of my favorites.
Terrence Ruffin, of course.
Is it Flex Diesel? Yeah. Come on, guys, throw me some names.
Terrence Ruffin.
Terrence Ruffin is a favorite too.
Terrence Ruffin is a big name.
He's a great popular. He's a great athlete, great popular.
Great.
Amazing.
I say by far one of my favorite posers up there.
Yeah, I love watching him. Even if you're not involved in the sport and you see Terrence posing, he has a very welcoming kind of presence. Obviously, incredible physique. So I think, look, I personally think that Chris is going to take it because we've been following his journey this year. We've been producing his life story, and we've been with him a lot in Florida and also through Canada. And I think from an outsider looking in, Vic, this year he's been the most focused. I've seen that he's been less, I wouldn't say stressed, but he's been very settled. He has a great team around him at Raw. Courtney King, who's his fiance now, incredible support system there. I think that for him to lose this year, one of these other guys is going to have to like come up over the top like never before. So I think that this year Chris has, and it's for Chris to lose, and I think he's just going to come out with the win again.
I agree. And I would like to see some of the guys from the other country, just to give somebody from my wife's country a shout out, from Colombia, Camilo Diaz, just qualify, it'll be his first time, representa, por favor, come on.
We're here right now. We're still in Colombia.
12 that I know of.
We're rooting for him for sure. I mean, we're in Colombia right now. We're in Medellin, and it's a beautiful city.
Yeah, you gotta give him a shout out, come on.
Of course.
The city is amazing. People are into fitness training here everywhere. It's like it's addictive, and it's everybody's into their bodies and their physiques.
Huge. The gyms are packed over here, Vic. Like we're literally packed to capacity. You can't even walk there. It's crazy.
Now you see something that gets you excited, just run in place, all right? Run in place. Burn it on, all right? Simmer down.
Wesley Visser is also competing from Netherlands. He actually is a great physique as well.
Wesley Vissers?
Yeah, he has a great physique on him.
Yeah.
And he's tall as well.
Let's bring on Wesley. That's where basically one of Rowley's and Williams' comrades from their side of town. I know they came up from the Netherlands, so I'd like to see him. But I mean, we got to see more in this class. I think we will this year. Guys, they got to take those guys down. They got to knock them down. And they know the only way to do it is not just by being close to the same. They got to be greater than, the current Mr. Olympia.
All right, guys, so for the wrap-up, we have Men's Open, Big Ramy for the win. For 212, we have Sean Clarita as the winner. And then for Classic, it's going to be Chris Bumstead.
Good luck to you guys out there. We'll see you next week at the Olympia. And guys, bring some fun back with you. Share a little bit,
And let's see if we're going to be correct after the Olympia. If the predictions
next time, I think we should do a wager or a bet together. So, that'd be nice too.
A wager would be nice. I mean, at least top 3 toss-up, right?
Let's do a wager for the second place. First place we were in agreement with for the Men's Open, right? For the second place, Men's Open, you said it's going to be Brendan Curry. What do you think?
I mean, I said Brandon as well. But,
so you're in agreement with him then?
But I'm going to do a toss-up here. I'll go with How Did You Pump.
How Did You Pump for the second? All right. I'll do Nick Walker for second. Let's see who's right in a week.
For the Classic?
For the Classic is number 2? I'll go with Breon.
I'll go with Terrence.
Terrence, man, you guys took 2 guys. All right. Let me go with Ramon.
Okay, that's a good one.
I heard he has a great chance. Actually, somebody told us right before the call that they predict that he's going to give him the most run for the title.
No backseas. That's it.
No. We set.
All right. How about the 212?
For 212 second? I'll go with Kamal. I think, I'll go with Kamal. I think it's a pretty safe bet on that one.
I'll go with Ashkenani.
Keon for me.
Who? Who's for you?
Keon.
All right. So let's touch base in a week and see who got those right.
You didn't get yours, Edwin. What was yours?
Oh no, I said
Ahmed Ashkenani.
Ashkenani.
From
All right,
Kuwait.
cool, man. That's it. What's the wagering shit? $50?
Let's do it. Yeah, 50. That's the pot. and a dinner at a Colombian restaurant, Vic.
Yeah, it's a box of Pampers and a good meal in Colombia.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon, man. Be safe out there.
Enjoy. Guys, over and out. Generation 9 podcast. See you guys next week for the preview of the Olympia.